Welcome to F-Bomb Friday. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with my husband, Todd. Hey, hon.
Hey, baby.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's hit it. Michigan's Upper Peninsula is a world of extremes. In late November, the forest seems to hold its breath. Snow begins to pile, the wind howls through the pines, and isolation becomes achingly real. For generations, people who lived in the UP, lumberjacks, miners, homesteaders, understood that the boundary between the living and the spirit world felt thinner in that season. It's in that liminal space that the story of the Thanksgiving visitor lives. In the UP's deep winter, certain old beliefs lingered. According to the Stories from the Woods collection at a Northern Michigan University's Beaumier Heritage Center, oral traditions from both Anishinaabe communities and European settlers remain strong. These traditions include not just ghost stories, but teachings about respect, unfinished business, and the spirits of those who died far from home. In that mix, there is room for a figure like the Thanksgiving visitor, a being that is not quite a ghost, not quite an ancestor, but a reminder. The Thanksgiving visitor only appears in late November during deep, cold snow and stillness, on nights marked by want, hunger, or emotional need. It is associated with quiet generosity, unseen assistance, and the strange warmth that appears in times of hardship. Often appearing as an old man, tall, thin, and cold. The visitor is always wrapped in a heavy, old-world winter cloak. Some say he is the soul of a lost miner or logger. He never approaches in bright light, only twilight, moonlight, stormlight, or full dark. He never startles, never lunges. He always approaches like he has been walking a very long time. He always waits at the threshold, doors, tree lines, the edge of property, and just on the perimeter of light. He never crosses thresholds without permission. The visitor is drawn by hunger, sickness, emotional turmoil, grief, and desperation. He watches families not possessively, but protectively. He studies faces, gauging intention and sincerity. Although the visitor arrives each year in a quiet, solemn manner, simply standing at the tree line or the edge of the property, there was an old belief the inviting him indoors broke the unspoken pact between humans and the spirit world. People feared inviting the visitor in because he was a judge, not a guest. The visitor wasn't meant to enter the home. His purpose was to observe, to take measure of a household's gratitude, and to accept the offerings left outside, such as food, blankets, coats or small comforts meant for those who had none. Inviting him inside suggested the family was trying to tilt its judgment, as if bribing or flattering the supernatural. Once invited in, he would not leave quickly. According to lore, spirits that cross the threshold must stay until dismissed, and the visitor could not be dismissed. If he crossed into a home by invitation, he would remain until he completed whatever unfinished business he sensed within the family. That could be hours or days. The visitor did not cause harm, but it revealed the truths people weren't ready for. Communities believed that if the visitor crossed your threshold, it meant your home held dishonesty, greed, unspoken conflict, or a lack of genuine gratitude. You show respect to the visitor. You leave something out for the visitor, but you never, ever invite him inside. People offered plenty at the doorstep, but the threshold was sacred. Crossing it changed the entire nature of the encounter. To the people who tell this story, the Thanksgiving visitor is more than just a ghost. He is a guardian of conscience. By leaving food, warmth, or covering, people honor not just the spirit world, but their own humanity, their own unfinished business. The offerings became a ritual of reconciliation. In some versions of the tale, after an encounter, the person returns to town the next day to mend a broken relationship. They confessed something they've been hiding. They deliver a message or a keepsake. They acknowledge a life lost, maybe a friend or family member who passed. Part of what makes the visitor legend feel real is it's tied to old rural practices. While there is no verified historical documentation that certain families always left food, blankets, or coats specifically for a Thanksgiving ghost, the concept echoes common folkloric behaviors. In many traditional societies, leaving offerings to spirits or travelers is a way to show hospitality or respect. In a harsh place like the UP, offering bread, salted meat, or other food items to anyone knocking at your door, or even just walking by, could be born from practical generosity. Some stories, especially in fictionalized or speculative retelling, say people left coats or blankets out on a doorstep or porches. The idea is that whoever might come knocking in a November storm deserves warmth, whether human or spirit. In the legends, these offerings become ritualized. The visitor appears only where such gestures of care have been made, where someone left a plate of food, or a warm piece of clothing, or a blanket folded on a nearby stump. This tradition gives the visitor moral weight. It's not malevolent, but watchful, and perhaps even thankful. So, what is the Thanksgiving visitor? A ghost? A spirit born of winter? Or simply a legend woven by people who needed something to believe in when the cold grew too heavy? Maybe it's all of those things, but perhaps the truest meaning lies not in what or who the visitor is, but in what the tradition became. In the poorest of times, people gave. When fear was thick in their hearts, they extended kindness to something unseen. And in doing so, they found connection to each other, to nature, into a version of generosity rooted not in plenty, but in sacrifice. At its heart, Thanksgiving has never just been about giving thanks for what we have. It's about giving freely, humbly, even when we aren't certain we'll receive anything in return. The visitor, whether real or imagined, became a mirror, reflecting humanity's capacity to reach beyond fear, to spread warmth, and to say, I see you. And in that timeless act, people discovered that hope can come in even the coldest November nights. The legend teaches that kindness matters in a place where survival is never easy, in a time when help might never come. Leaving something out for a stranger or a spirit is both act and symbol. Well, how fitting is this story
Right?
today?
Yeah, so we're recording this on Thanksgiving night. I wanted to dig into it and see if there was any legends around Thanksgiving holiday that happened in Michigan. So this one popped out at me, and I was like, ooh, juicy. And it's kind of reminiscent of a lot of other legends I think I've heard before, too. You know, the helping of the stranger. I think there's a witch story like that, too, you know, where somebody comes across a witch, and either you're nice or you're mean to the witch, and it depends on what kind of...
Right, like I recall that, like a very haggard,
Yeah,
horribly ugly looking witch comes to your door,
right.
and she's really disguised. She's a beautiful
Right.
princess or something
Yeah.
like that, right? She's cursed. Isn't that like in Beauty and the Beast as well?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh. You know, I wondered when we were doing dishes for the 100th time today, after everyone left and you asked me if we should put something out for the Thanksgiving visitor, like a plate, some food or something. I'm like, what? I didn't know the story yet.
Well, if I were to ever come across the Thanksgiving visitor, I don't think I'd have a problem not inviting this character in. He's kind of creepy, you know, big, tall, skinny, frozen-looking old man.
Wait a tick. You want to invite some tall, skinny, old stranger in the house?
No, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have a problem not inviting.
Oh, I'm like, honey, no.
No, I'll leave a plate out, though, in a blankie.
I'll leave a blanket. I have plenty of spatchcock turkey left. I'll share.
That was a big bird.
That was a big bird.
Big bird.
Big, juicy.
Yeah,
Big and juicy bird.
big and juicy bird.
Yeah. Well, this is a great story, hun. And it makes sense.
Right. Kind of gives a new perspective of what the holiday really should be about.
Exactly. Help one another.
Right.
No matter what you think. It's something, someone.
Yep.
And they're cold and hungry.
And it's a sacrifice. You're giving something away. Maybe you don't really want to lose, but somebody else needs it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Give to the needy. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, hun.
You're welcome.
Do you want to sing us out?
I sure do. You better lock your doors. You better lock your windows. And you might just want to check under that bed.
And if I see the Thanksgiving visitor under there, I've got some spatchcocked turkey and a blanket. Enjoy.
That's right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Hey, and we will see you again on Malice Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.